Hi guys, so listen, I've been asked this question 1,000 times or better. Should I rent or should I buy? I am going to answer that like Mr. Miyagi. Danielson, the answer lies within you. Guys, let's get into it. I really want to give you some concrete data behind a question that's asked 1,000 times or better. I know that I've been asked, so I don't know if other realtors can attest to this, but really this is going to be based upon how you feel, what your circumstances and situation may be, and what you're trying to do. Let's get into it. Number one, ask yourself, what are your intentions? Okay, now that you've asked the hard questions, guys, if it's a 1-year assignment, 2 years, 3 years, are you looking to build a family? Are you looking to plant roots? Do you just love this city so much that if something came up, you'd love to keep a home here, or you just, you really just are moving on? So average rents, typical rents here for a 3-bedroom, and I'm just gonna throw this out for a family, right? Because you're relocating, you potentially have growth. So let's just say a 3-bedroom, 2-bath apartment. Houston has luxury rentals. They have apartment complexes that have just phenomenal pools, gyms, recreational, where they do activities. So average rents are about $1,750 on, just depending on where you want to be in the city. But I'm gonna just say ballparkish, you can get in, be comfortable, great schools, average $1,750. Okay guys, look, we found a rental property, average rent $1,750, 12 months, $21,000. Okay, now you're looking to purchase. We're just gonna go quickly right into a purchase. You're looking to buy a home. Let's just say FHA, conventional. We're gonna do 3.5% to 3%. We're not gonna do 20%. We're just gonna do average 3.5%, because it's the least expensive options to get into a home, right? So we're looking at your down payment is gonna be about $8,750. Your closing costs, I always tell my clients, whatever you're going to put in your down payment, just imagine that times 2, because that's going to cover your closing costs as well. So we're talking about $8,750. We're at $17,500. That is just for your down payment and closing costs, right? That's to seal the deal, get your keys. Now we move on and we say our monthly cost for that house. Now we have a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house. That monthly cost for that house is now $1,446. That's what your taxes and insurance, that's your cost, right? It doesn't cover anything that may come up in the home. It doesn't cover any issues, doesn't cover lawn care, doesn't cover the utilities. That's just an extra cost, right? But now we're just digging in deep. Now I'm giving you 2 numbers. Now, just to get into the home, you're looking at, $17,500. Now, to lease your apartment, get in it for a year, you're talking about $1,750 a month. Typically, some apartment complexes, they run specials where you can get in with just an application fee, just depending on your credit, right? And then on how long you're looking at leasing. So we were already out of pocket at the max, top end, we were talking about $21,000. We know that we're not doing anything else because some of them cover, well, you may have utilities and trash. So, add another $100 to that. So you're adding another $1,200 just for the year on top of that $21,000. So what are you at now? $22,200? Okay, so you're at $22,200 for the year. Then you're gonna multiply that times 3 years, because that's what we talked about. We talked about $22,200 over 3-year period. Gets you what, 66.6? Okay, so you're at 666. Okay, so let's just stay away from that. But you're at $66,600. Boom, for 3 years. You're not getting that money back. It's gone, guys. It's out of here. You can't do anything with it. It was just an investment for the price of living. It was the cost of living, right? The cost of doing business, like they say. So you spent that $66,000. You're not getting it back. It's out of here. On the other hand, now we move on to the purchase side, and I'm gonna look down a couple of times because this is for my, to make certain my math is there. So we were at $17,500 just to get into the home. We were at $1,446 with our monthly payment. And so we look at that $1,446 over 12-month period, guys, is $17,352. Now that's $17,352. That does include your taxes and insurance. Now we're gonna multiply that times 3. We get $52,056. That's where we are for 3 years of home ownership, right? Your taxes and insurance included. That's what you've paid. So you're at 66.6 in renting, and then to own you're at 52.56. Yes, there's a difference. There's a price. So you're thinking, oh wow, no, I should actually buy because I'm going to save a lot of money here. Not the case, because now this is where the dynamic shifts and you really have to put some thought behind it, right? Now, just say for instance, you purchased that home at $250,000. It definitely appreciated a little bit, not much, but it did have some appreciation value. We're hoping anyway, and we're hoping that we're not in a downturn in market. There's a lot of ifs going here now, because now we're looking at selling this property because we're not staying. We've got a better opportunity. We're moving to a different city, state. Nevertheless, you need that money because you don't want to be tied into covering a house note here in Houston and then picking up something in Atlanta, in New York, in New Jersey, wherever your next step is, right? So now you're looking at, you go ahead and you consult with a couple of agents. You contact your mortgage company to see exactly how much equity you may have in this home, how much you've paid into it, what's left owed on it, right? Now, average amortization, we're gonna say that with your $52,000 that you paid for the year for 12 months of owning, right? 12 months of owning, and then you put that $17,500 into it. So you were at $69,556. That's where you were at the end of 3 years. That's how much you've paid. Now, we're not talking about anything that came up for repair, for replacement. We're just talking about the numbers, guys. You're already right there at that threshold. You're not comparing apples to apples any longer because you are at a deficit, right, in leasing, because you've thrown that money away. It's gone. But it gets kind of crazy. So you're at $69,556 after 3 years because this is a home ownership. You're thinking, okay, wow, I'm gonna get some of that money back, right? $69,000. There's got to be something there for me to play with when I sell this house. Now, at a $250,000 home, cost to sell that, right? You're thinking that it's not much. You're talking about average cost per agent. It's 3% on the selling side, 3% on the buying side. And then I average about 1.5% for the title company, those fees and other, little small fees that you have to pay to actually get this house off your name, cleared, moved on, right? So it's gonna cost you about $19,468 to sell that home. Okay, guys, let's get into the numbers, right? So we found a rental property. We found an apartment. We are now looking to get it together. We want to move forward. So we've kind of fixated on $1750, 12 months. We're looking at $21,000. $21,000 over 3 years is a $6,300 or $63,000 investment. That's how much we've spent. That's how much has gone out the window. That's what we needed. It was the cost to do business. That's what we needed to live, to survive in that area, just to get us through that journey in life. Now, for the homeowner, the person that wants to buy and asking themselves, okay, look, it's got to be better for me to buy. So let's get into your numbers. Getting into your numbers to purchase, right? Just say, for instance, you're going for a home that's $250,000. You're doing a conventional 3%. Or an FHA 3.5%. Now, these numbers are going to be sketchy because I'm going off the dome and not really using a calculator here. But just say, for instance, 3.5% of that $250,000, we're going to say your down payment is $87.50, right? I always tell my clients a good rule of thumb: when you're looking to purchase a home, your down payment and your closing costs are going to be equivalent. So whatever your down payment is, go ahead and make certain that you have that same amount for your closing costs. So $87.50. What is that? That's $17,500. So $17,500. That is what it's going to take for you to get into your home. Okay, so $17,500. That's just your down payment and closing costs. That's just to get your keys. Now, for a year of rent, you were at $21,000, right? Okay, you've already lived a year. But now here we are, $17,500. That was your down payment and closing costs. You've gotten your keys. Now your monthly note is going to be about $1,446, somewhat $1,440, $1,450. You're going to pay that over the course of 12 months. That cost is going to be what? $17,300 some odd dollars, $17,352. So when you look at that to purchase a home, My down payment and closing cost was $1,750. For the year, I paid another $17,000. And that's not even if something popped up. Something, you had to repair something, you had to replace something. God forbid, none of those things happen, but you're at about, for 3 years, at $17,000, you're looking at about 52 grand. So 52 grand for the 3 years. And then you add on that 17.5. So you're right around 69,500 and some odd dollars, right? That's what it costs you for the price to do business on purchasing a home. Listen, just go along with the idea, with the concept. The numbers, you can plug in whatever kind of numbers you want to plug in. These are just numbers that I'm playing with. I'm not saying I'm a mathematician. Let's not get into it. So don't drop in the comments all kind of crazy comments. Just play with the math, play with the numbers, right? Make this personal. So at that $69,000 you spent for the price of doing business for 3 years and buying, that's where you were. That's what it was. Now, on the other hand, for leasing, done, cash out, in hand, you had a great place to live, some amenities, it was all good. You were at your 63 grand, and life was good. You moved on. Now we're trying to get out of this house because guess what? I'm not staying. I've decided to move on. There's a better opportunity for me, something that looks a little bit more appealing. So now I've got to sell this home. We're praying that there's some appreciation going on here, right? And you've paid down because you've been paying 3 years. That amortization sheet looks hella confusing, but nevertheless, in 3 years, you're going to be at about 239 grand still owing on that home, right? But you pray that there is some value where you can sell your home for that 250, maybe 265,000. So the cost of doing business, now we want to sell a home at 265,000. We're thinking that you've got to pay 3% on the buying side, 3% on the selling side, and then the initial title fees. And I tell people to average about 1.5% cost because that's just your title. So there's some other fees. You got attorney fees. You got a lot of little fees that go into it, little intricate fees to make certain that you're good to go and that you can get out of this home, right? So you're looking at about maybe 19, almost 20 grand to sell the home. Prayerfully, there was some equity there. Like I said, you were down to 239,000. You take that 19,000 that it cost you to sell the home, you sold it at about 265. So guys, you walk away from the table with maybe about 5 grand. That's a win, right? That is clearly a win over 3 years. Anything less than 3 years, womp. But at 3 years, you actually get to walk away with 5 grand and some change. And that's prayerfully, right? If there were no issues, nothing going on with the home. I don't know, guys. What do you think? I really want to hear your comments down below. Drop them in the comment section. Because is that a win? I mean, like, do you feel like you didn't lose any money? You had a great place to live, you made friends, you made these connections, and you kind of walk away with a little bit of change? Or were you okay being the apartment renter, right? Or I don't know where you laid your head, but we're gonna just say a nice apartment complex, condo, townhome. You were able to do it for 3 years. You were okay with walking away with that 63 grand, spending it because it was the price to do business. But I don't know. I mean, the analytical person, the person that runs numbers, the person that's kind of conscious of that, like, what does it look like for you business-wise? I want to know. I really would love, because people ask me the question all the time, but it's not something that I can answer for you. I can help you with the numbers and let you see the plan, how it unfolds and what it's going to cost you. But ultimately, you are the one that's got to make the decision. Like, what does that look like for you? Like, where are you going? What does that dollar amount look for you? It's all a gamble, but it's real estate, right? So I really want to hear from you. Drop in the comments below. Let's get this debate going. Let's talk about it. Let me know. I really appreciate your time. I really appreciate you checking out the video. Please drop your comments below, like and share this video. And I'm talking about Houston, Texas, guys. I don't think I said it earlier, but you already know if you're on my page. It's Kim Augustine with Connection Homes Realty. We're here in Houston, Texas, and I'd love to be your agent. Let's connect. Have a good one. Bye, guys.